Yes, we're good. Okay, we're live.
Hey, good morning. We'll call the governance committee meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the minutes from the July 19th meeting. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is public comment. Anyone wishing to address the governance committee will have 5 minutes. We just ask that you state your name and address. So we'll open that section of the meeting now. If there's anyone who would like to address the governance committee. Hearing or seeing none, we'll close that portion of the meeting. Next item on the agenda is a review, discussion, recommendation to authorize a resolution authorizing a leaseback transaction to facilitate the renovation and equipping of property and a 79,034 square foot building located on 1.27 acres of land situate at 135 Conklin Ave in the city of Binghamton and 0.09 acre of land situate at 149 Conklin Ave in the city of Binghamton to be used collectively as a mixed-use development building consisting of 10,000 square feet of commercial storefront, 14,000 square feet for 59 parking spaces and storage, and 44,433 square feet encompassing 48 residential upper floor apartments, and appointing Crowley Factory Lofts LLC, the company, as agent of the agency for the purpose of renovating and equipping the project, and authorizing the execution and delivery of certain documents with respect thereto, including a payment in lieu of tax agreement, sales tax and use tax agreement in an amount not to exceed $301,114, a mortgage tax exemption in an amount not to exceed $67,424, property tax exemption in an amount not to exceed $2,046,281.
Okay, so for the governance committee's consideration is a recommendation to approve the aforementioned benefits for the Crowley Lofts project. A public hearing was held in the city of Binghamton on August 7th, and the board should have received transcript of that hearing. So just as a refresher on the project, the Crowley Lofts project is a 73,000 square foot renovation to the former Crowley Dairy Company building in the city south side, which would provide waterfront views of the Susquehanna River. The building, originally built in the 1900s, was owned by Crowley until 2004, when H.P. Hood Dairy Company purchased the building and operated it until 2012. In 2013, the building was purchased by Mountain Fresh Dairy, but after a failed attempt to revive the plant, it has sat idle since 2017. The project, located at 149 and 135 Conklin Ave, will restore the waterfront building's second and third floors with 1 and 2 bedroom market rate housing units with square footage of approximately 44,433 square feet. The ground floor is planned to be flexible commercial space, including approximately 10,000 square feet and an additional 14,000 for parking and storage. The city is working with the developer Crowley Factory Lofts LLC to redevelop the site into a mixed-use development with 48 units and 59 parking spaces. Partnership and involvement of the city includes a successful award of $2 million in the state's Restore New York program. The project will provide much needed housing for young professionals and families and eliminate a vacant and underutilized building on the city's south side neighborhood. I do have both John Perchinsky and Patrick Van Putty on the call virtually, should the board have any questions directly for them. We also have a cost benefit analysis project review form and copy of the pilot schedule in your packet.
Is there a targeted start date for the project?
I'm going to say that it looks like it's probably about 60 days out from now. Some of that is dependent upon finalizing financing, as well as finalizing the general contractor's requirements. And just to be clear, we do have over 6 letters of intent from lending institutions, And most of those were contingent upon two major factors. The first being the Restore New York grant being awarded, which it was. And the second was the approval of the pilot, which plays a significant role in strengthening our debt service coverage ratio, therefore increasing the ability for favorable financing.
Stacy, just clarification, is the Restore New York a grant? That's a grant, right?
That is a grant,
And it's
yeah,
just 2 million,
2 million,
But-
yes.
so when an applicant apply, when we do the analysis, the 2 million of that grant money doesn't show up in the benefit section here, is that correct?
The 2 million would show up through in their sources and should show up in their sources and uses. Yes, it should be.
Right, but when we look at the independent economic analysis.
Correct,
If
yes.
it calculates
Yeah.
the benefit, I was wondering not only for this project, but other projects, do grant monies or other aid, support, whatever you want to characterize it at,
Right, yeah,
are those captured or reflected anywhere?
Well-
Because, if you added $2 million to the benefits here,
right,
they're substantially lower than they appear.
right.
I think they are
I
included.
believe they
Looks
are.
like the
included.
ex-
I
expense,
thought that they were, but I
labor
couldn't.
and everything looks like it's full project cost.
Yeah, they're included typically through the sources uses as either equity or just additional funding that are applied to their total project.
Okay, I'm
costs.
asking because I thought I saw it
Mhm.
kind of,
Yeah,
but I wasn't sure that I saw it for sure, so.
Yeah, and
I'm
I-
going on the assumption
yeah.
it's there, but
and I don't know, typically in our cost benefit, if we separate out that as
Might be
grant
better to do that.
funding. we
it might,
can-
then it might
we
be
can
interesting
do
just
that. Yeah.
to
for
see
sure.
that, because, what we give on a pilot is a factor, and right, the grants, not, it would just
Yeah.
might give us a more accurate picture of what the
Yeah.
benefits are of the entire project to look at it in toto,
Yeah.
even though we think it's here.
Yes, we can separate out when we're doing our cost benefits. Like I said, typically it's in our sources and uses, the total public
Right,
funding applied to the project. Yeah, we can do that.
which may or may not necessarily, I don't want to tie it up, but I mean, may or may not be relevant. Right, because we're responsible for looking at what's the benefit of the pilot,
Right.
not necessarily like an overarching,
Mhm.
but it just seems like it's a good thing to know. In terms of judging, right, this pilot's a little long, if it was even longer, and you were getting another $2 million, maybe that's a different discussion.
Okay, yep, we can do that.
Okay, that's my tangent for the day.
That's an easy one. We can-
Yeah, but it would make sense to just break it up, and we have
Break it
that's
out
more, it's clear for
specifically.
everyone that's looking at it.
Yep.
Because we may know, but if you're a layman, let's say, going online or something, you wouldn't know.
Sure.
Any additional comments or questions for Stacy or the developers? Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried. Do we have any other business at this point? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're adjourned.
Yeah, I just remember when I was farm to market, like,
Hello.
Yeah.
Good.
I know.
Yeah.
I think Brandon's.
All your. Like to. Anything? Like to call to order this meeting of the Broome County Industrial Development Agency of August 16th, 2023. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes of our July 19th, 2023 board meeting.
So moved.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Elaine. Any discussion? So a vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Come to the part of our agenda where we have our public comment session. Anybody wishing to speak on any matter concerning the IDA, please feel free to state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes if you will. We'll wait a second. I hear someone coming in the door.
Oh, just.
Patrick is not. We'll follow this section of the meeting to a close. Executive Director's Report, Stacy.
Okay, yes, well, good afternoon, everyone. I will lead off with the great information I sent to you yesterday. We received word from Empire State Development via the governor's office, did a press release announcing the first round of funding awards for FAST, the newest Empire State Development Program geared towards funding communities for various stages of site development. We applied for a track A or pre-development grant, which was up to $500,000, which we received the full ask of $500,000. As we continue to research and do our due diligence on the potential construction of a business park in the towns of Maine and towns of Union. So this was a fantastic first step in the process of really, I think, getting into the meat of this proposal, which the funds will be used to complete the state's environmental quality review or seeker process. So we'll begin that immediately. We'll still continue to work with Alon Planning, who is now EDR. They've merged. The seeker process will include a full environmental impact statement and review. It will include a traffic study and any other required studies and reviews per the state's program. We'll also use this time to issue a request for qualifications for A&E and engineering firms. This will be the stage that will really start to build out and design what this could potentially look like. So a very important next phase of the process. I want to just in public session, I want to acknowledge and thank Brendan O'Brien for his work. He really did a lot of the legwork and getting all the materials together, managing the process with the engineering. I also want to acknowledge Hunt Engineering. They were fantastic to work with in this preliminary phase that we were in. They were a great group to work with as well. I did attend a Town of Maine board meeting last night to give them an update. I've been communicating via email with both town supervisors, and we'll start a process of regular updates, either in person or in some form of communication with the town board members. Seeker does require public hearings, which we think is an opportune time to actually engage the community, the surrounding community, but the broader community as well, and do some public workshop type of programs. We are looking at some practices that might open up some additional funding streams, potentially through NYSERDA, anything we can do with building design to make these more sustainably built. I think that could open up another track of funding for us. So a lot to do. I think this is also the stage where we'll determine what any potential intermunicipal agreements are going to be needed, and begin really gearing up for an application. We've made no applications thus far. We're really still in a due diligence period. So that's been great news so far. Just a couple project updates. We are planning to close with Green Mountain Electrical Supply. Joe has all the papers drawn. And this will be the first project that we will use some new language in our leaseback transaction, which will require any sublease or assignment of a facility to require board approval by resolution. So that change has been made for the board's request. We are also, I don't have definitive date, but I am communicating with Matthew Paulus at Paulus Development on a grand opening of the Victory Loft. So that project is doing very well. My understanding is it's leasing very well. He was working on some finishing touches and some of the community spaces, but I know is planning to do a grand opening, so we'll make sure the board is aware when that date comes. We had the nice opportunity of doing a tour of the UHS Wilson Hospital just a few days ago, which was a project we funded on our other side, on the LDC side, but that facility is just magnificent. They said it's the largest facility they've ever had. We even went all the way up to the helipad. Yeah, so their plan is, I believe, the construction team at La Chase will be turning the building over tentatively around January of 2024, but there'll be several months of finishing. They'll do a lot of, really just kind of getting the staff and the hospital staff and the physicians, nurses, et cetera, used to the new business, the building flow. But it's been just a fantastic project. Just a quick notes on financial updates in the monthly financials. You will see now the $393,900 payment from Canopy Growth. So that essentially closes out any involvement we have with the company. The pilot has been terminated and all payments have been made to all taxing authorities as well as the IDA. So we're done with that project. I just want to note, you see the Tarpon lease, that is the lease of land at 147 Corporate Park Drive for a cell tower. They have not, they're still pursuing that project. They are working with the town of Conklin. I believe the town wanted to bring in sort of a third party independent reviewer of these projects. So that is why you're not seeing any income from that project from that payment. So I think those were the only financial items I wanted to mention. I don't know if the board had any questions.
Is the Bluestone just a timing issue?
Timing. Yep, we actually will be invoicing that. We usually invoice that every September, so that should be invoiced shortly. Mhm.
Any additional questions for Jason? That's enough to you and your staff. Wonderful job on the fast grant.
Okay.
You've had a chance to look at the internal financial reports, I trust. Any questions specific to those or to the loan activity?
And I know Natalie is on vacation, but we don't have any updates on loans. I think the ones that are in litigation are still in process.
Moving onward to new business, resolution authorizing a leaseback transaction to facilitate the renovation and equipping of the property and approximately 79,034 plus or minus square foot building located in 1.27 plus or minus acres of land situate at 135 Conklin Avenue in the city of Binghamton, Broome County, New York, and at 0.09 plus or minus acre of land situate at 149 Conklin Avenue in the city of Binghamton, Broome County, New York, to be used collectively as a mixed-use development building consisting of 10,000 plus or minus square feet of commercial storefront, 14,000 plus or minus square feet for 59 parking spaces and storage, and 44,433 plus or minus square feet encompassing 48 residential upper floor apartments, and appointing Crowley Factory Lofts LLC, the company, as agent of the agency for the purpose of renovating and equipping the project and authorizing the execution and delivery of certain documents with respect thereto, including a payment in lieu of tax agreement, a sales and use tax exemption agreement in an amount not to exceed $301,114, a mortgage tax exemption in an amount not to exceed $67,424, and a property tax exemption in an amount not to exceed $2,046,281. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, this project, as a refresher, includes the renovation of the former Crowley Dairy Company. built in the early 1900s. It was operated began operations under H.P. Hood Dairy Company in 2004 until 2012. Until 2013, it was purchased by Mountain Fresh Dairy, but after a failed attempt to revive the plant, the building has sat idle since 2017. Crowley Factory Lofts LLC plans to renovate the building, to restore the waterfront location for 48 apartments geared towards young professionals and families. It will have 59 parking spaces and approximately 10,000 square feet of commercial space available. This project also includes the partnership from the city of Binghamton, who applied for and successfully received a $2 million Restore New York grant, which will be used to assist the renovation of this building. The total square footage of the apartments, which include both 1 and 2 bedroom market rate apartments, is approximately 44,433 square feet. The public hearing on this project was held in the city of Binghamton on August 7th. We have sent the transcript out to the board for review. A cost benefit analysis and a copy of the pilot schedule is included in the packet. And both John Korchinski and Patrick Van Putty with Crowley Factory Lofts Inc. are here virtually if the board has any specific questions for them.
One question I see on the GIS map, that the old rock bottom street bridge entrance is between two parcels. Looks like it would make sense if they took that over from the city, so they had more parking and.
I don't know, Patrick, is that anything that came up in your?
Actually, we were in communication with the city as we speak.
Common sense prevail.
Yeah.
Any additional questions from the principals? Yes.
Yeah, just a question. I know these are market rate rentals, like, do you have an idea what a 2-bedroom one will be going for?
Yeah, so a I do, and on our pro formas, through our research and analysis, a 2-bedroom or a 2-bedroom will be going for about 2,100 is our targeted price. And we do have also in the drawings, there's a 2-story 2-bedroom with 2 bath. They're going to go for approximately 2,600.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Figure out where I can move my wife.
Any additional?
Be right by the park.
She likes the view, right?
Additional questions for the principals? Mayor,
Governance moves it forward as a motion to approve.
thank you, Mayor. Is there a second? Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? Let's have a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Moving on, is there an executive? session?
I do not have any executive question item.
And you had indicated yesterday that maybe someone wanted to do a
Yes, they
pre-presentation.
decided to hold till they were ready to apply. So we are expecting an application likely in September from the company CSD Housing. They're involved with a rehabilitation project for affordable and I believe also some transitional housing in the city of Binghamton at the former shelter workshop. So they had inquired about addressing the board, but they'll plan to do that next month.
Fair enough. Looking for a motion to adjourn if there's nothing further to discuss. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Elaine. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your help.
Close.
It's been a long time since we've